What's up, Dub Nation? Welcome to another video. Before we start, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed so you don't miss any news about the Golden State Warriors. Let's go, because today we've got a lot of good stuff. Have you ever imagined one of the biggest trade mistakes in NBA history? Well, it happened recently, and the player who was harmed in this trade was none other than Jimmy Butler, a true winner on the court. But wait. There's a detail in this story that might change everything and makes this trade one of the most controversial moves in recent times. DeMarcus Cousins, former NBA player and current analyst, has no doubts about what happened in the last trade window, which closed on February 6th. For him, the Miami Heat made a huge mistake by letting go of Jimmy Butler and sending him to the Golden State Warriors, and we're not talking about just any player. Butler is one of the most competitive athletes in the league, one of those guys who simply won't accept losing. And when a player of his level changes teams, the impact can be enormous. During his appearance on FanDuel's Run It Back show, Cousins explained why he sees this trade as a masterstroke for the Warriors and an absolute disaster for the Miami Heat. "He's a winner, man," Cousins said without hesitation. This statement may seem simple, but it carries a deep meaning. Butler is one of those players who does whatever it takes to win. His mindset is unquestionable, and that has been evident throughout his career. One of the most well-known moments that illustrates this mindset happened in a practice when he was still playing for the Minnesota Timberwolves. At that time, he decided to challenge the starting team by playing alongside the bench players. The result? A crushing victory for the bench and a clear message to the whole team. Commitment and a winning attitude are non-negotiable. Now imagine that energy within a team like the Golden State Warriors. Since his arrival, the team has won 7 of the last 8 games and looks rejuvenated. The team is having fun again on the court and showing signs that they could have a very strong playoff campaign. Meanwhile, the Miami Heat situation has taken a worrying turn. Without Butler, the team has won only 2 of the last 9 games and seems far from being the team that made it to the finals in 2020 and 2023. For Cousins, there is no doubt that the Heat made a strategic mistake. It's true that Miami was in a complicated position since Butler wanted to be traded. But was the move made too hastily? Time will tell, but the first signs are not looking good for the Florida team. Meanwhile, the Golden State Warriors are reaping the benefits of this trade and strengthening for the final stretch of the season. And now, let's move on to another big story that's been shaking up the NBA, Kevin Durant's refusal to return to the Golden State Warriors. But the reason may not be exactly what you think. Instead of rivalries or internal issues, what really weighed in Durant's decision was something much more human and understandable: mental exhaustion caused by constant changes. Recently, Durant appeared on the Draymond Green show and once and for all clarified why he never considered a return to the Warriors. No fights, grudges, or lack of chemistry with former teammates. The truth is, he simply didn't want to go through the exhaustion of changing teams in the middle of the season again. "I didn't want to move," Durant stated directly. If you've ever had to move cities or even homes, you know how tiring that can be. Now, imagine doing that while competing at the highest level of the NBA. Leaving one team and quickly adapting to a new system, new teammates, and a completely different environment is not easy, even for a superstar like Kevin Durant. Durant has been through it before and knew exactly what he'd face if he accepted a new trade. He compared the situation to someone who has to move apartments several times while in the middle of a big work project. The stress of packing, unpacking, and trying to settle into a new environment while still needing to perform at the highest level can be overwhelming. Moreover, there was another important factor: his commitment to the Phoenix Suns. Since his arrival, Durant has been dedicated to the team's project and wants to see how far this team can go. Even after losing key pieces like Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges, he believes the Suns have the potential to compete for titles and is willing to bet on this group. "I'm trying to take this to the end and see what we can really do with this team," Durant said. This shows that his loyalty isn't just to the contract he signed, but also to the bond he's created with his coaches and teammates. He wants to give this project a real chance and see how far he can take the Suns. Another interesting point in the conversation was Durant's relationship with some of the NBA's biggest names. He recalled his experience playing alongside LeBron James and Stephen Curry, but it was his connection with Curry that really stood out. According to Durant, he felt he was the only one on the court who understood exactly what Curry was thinking, a rare and valuable connection. This chemistry was something that grew stronger over the years and culminated in the partnership they had during the 2024 Olympics. This type of synergy is something few players can develop, and Durant values this experience highly. However, even with this special connection, he decided not to sacrifice stability and commitment with the Suns. Now, what if the Golden State Warriors were about to make the boldest move in their history? Can you imagine the 2021 Finals MVP, Giannis Antetokounmpo, swapping the Milwaukee Bucks for the Golden State Warriors? It seems unlikely, but this possibility might be more real than many think. According to Zach Buckley of Bleacher Report, the Warriors are closely monitoring Antetokounmpo's situation and may be planning an aggressive move to secure the Greek star in the upcoming free agent market. The reason? Giannis's future in Milwaukee is far from guaranteed. Although he has repeatedly stated his desire to stay with the Bucks, consecutive early playoff exits could make him reconsider his future. If Antetokounmpo decides that it's time to seek a new challenge, the Warriors are ready to act. Having the Greek star alongside Stephen Curry and Jimmy Butler would create a new dynasty in the NBA, making Golden State one of the most feared teams in the league. Giannis is not known for his three-point shooting, but his ability to physically dominate opponents would make the Warriors' offense even more lethal. Additionally, defensively, he would join Draymond Green to form one of the most formidable duos in the league. With impressive averages of 30.9 points, 12.1 rebounds, and 5.8 assists this season, Giannis would be an immediate boost for any team, and the Warriors know it. If the Golden State Warriors really manage to bring Giannis Antetokounmpo to the team, it could be one of the biggest moves in NBA history. We're talking about a player who has already proven he can carry a team to a championship and who, if placed in a system like the Warriors, could elevate the team to an alarmingly dominant level. Imagine a scenario where Giannis joins the Golden State Warriors alongside Stephen Curry and Jimmy Butler. What could this trio do on the court? The Warriors have always been known for their fast-paced, spaced-out game, built on movement and long-range shooting. Now, add one of the most unstoppable players in the league in the paint, someone who can finish near the basket with extreme ease and also defend multiple positions. This fit could turn Golden State into an almost unbeatable offensive machine. With Curry and Butler spreading the defense with their shooting and playmaking ability, Giannis would have plenty of room to explore his drives to the basket, something he does better than almost anyone in the NBA. And on defense, Giannis's presence alongside Draymond Green would create one of the most suffocating defensive systems we've ever seen, with the ability to switch matchups and contest shots anywhere on the court. But could this trade actually happen? The Milwaukee Bucks know they have a superstar on their hands, and so far, they've done everything they can to surround Giannis with enough talent to contend for titles. However, the team has stumbled in the playoffs in recent years, and if this story repeats itself, it's possible that Antetokounmpo will start questioning his future. A star's patience has its limits, and the NBA's history is full of players who decided to change teams in search of a new challenge. If the Warriors really want to bring Giannis on board, they will have to part with valuable assets. Young players, draft picks, and possibly some important pieces from the current roster would need to be involved in such a big trade. But for a team that has always been willing to take high risks to stay on top, this trade is not out of the question. Now, let's imagine a bit further. Suppose the Warriors pull off this trade. What would it mean for the NBA as a whole? Since the rise of the Golden State Warriors as a powerhouse in the league, we've seen several teams try to bolster their rosters to compete with them. When Kevin Durant joined the team in 2016, the NBA entered an era where the Warriors were practically unstoppable. If something similar were to happen with Giannis, the impact would be just as big, if not bigger. Teams like the Boston Celtics, Denver Nuggets, and even the Los Angeles Lakers would have to completely rethink their strategies to face a Warriors team bolstered by one of the best players in the league. The Western Conference, already extremely competitive, would become even more brutal, and every game against Golden State would be a true test of endurance. But there's one important detail we can't ignore. Giannis has a different profile from many other superstars. He has always shown loyalty to the Milwaukee Bucks, and even when rumors about his possible departure surfaced, he was firm in saying he wants to continue competing for titles with the team. However, in basketball, just like in life, things can change quickly. If the Bucks continue to disappoint in the playoffs and Giannis feels the team is no longer headed in the right direction, the possibility of a trade will become increasingly real. And if there's a team that knows how to make big moves to bring in elite talent, that team is the Golden State Warriors. Now let's shift focus a bit and talk about one of the most heated discussions of the current season: the impact Jimmy Butler is already having on the Golden State Warriors. Since joining the team, Butler has shown exactly why he's considered one of the most competitive players in the league. His intensity on the court, his winning mindset, and his ability to elevate his teammates' level have already made a difference. The Warriors have won 7 of their last 8 games, and what stands out is not just the number of wins, but how the team has been playing. There's a different energy, an atmosphere of confidence, and a level of commitment that recalls the best moments of this franchise in recent years. One of the main things Butler has brought to the team is his vocal leadership. He's not afraid to hold his teammates accountable, demand more effort in practice, and ensure that everyone stays focused on the main goal: winning. And this leads us to an interesting question. Are the Warriors now the favorites to win the championship? With Butler's arrival and the possible addition of another star in the future, Golden State is positioning itself as one of the strongest contenders. But, as always, there are challenges along the way. The competition in the West is fierce, and teams like the Denver Nuggets and Oklahoma City Thunder have been playing high-level basketball. What could make the difference for the Warriors is exactly this mentality Butler has brought to the team. Over the years, we've seen that the most successful teams in the NBA are not just those with the most talent, but those with the perfect combination of talent, chemistry, and a winning mindset. If Golden State can maintain this energy and continue to evolve, they'll have a real chance at fighting for the championship. And if in the future they add a piece like Giannis Antetokounmpo, now we're talking about a possible new dynasty. But until then, everything is still up in the air. The NBA is unpredictable, and everything can change in an instant. If you've been following the NBA for a while, you know that the Golden State Warriors never settle for just being another competitive team. This franchise has a winning mentality, and any opportunity to become even more dominant will be considered. Now that Butler is on the team, what's next? Does the Warriors need another piece to truly solidify themselves as the title favorites? Historically, teams fighting for titles always seek adjustments until the final stretch of the season. Looking at Golden State's roster, Butler's arrival has already elevated the team to a new level, but there are still some issues that could be adjusted to maximize the team's potential. One of the biggest questions is the defensive side. With Butler and Draymond Green, the Warriors already have 2 players with a strong defensive mentality, but is that enough to face teams like the Denver Nuggets with Nikola Jokic or the Boston Celtics, who have a very balanced roster? In addition, the depth of the bench is another point that can be analyzed. Golden State has good options on the roster, but for a long playoff run, having a deep bench could be the key to success. This is where the possibility of new moves comes in. The NBA is an unpredictable league, and there are always players available on the market who can be acquired for a relatively low price but make a big difference in the rotation. If the Warriors want to increase their chances even further, they could look for targeted reinforcements to strengthen the team in the final stretch of the season. And speaking of moves, we can't ignore the growing speculation about other potential blockbuster trades in the NBA. If Golden State is willing to take a big gamble, they could try a trade that involves not just Giannis Antetokounmpo, but also other stars who might become available soon. Players like Joel Embiid, Karl Anthony Towns, or even Donovan Mitchell could be names to watch. If any of these stars decide they want a new start, the Warriors will certainly be paying attention to see if they can pull off another bold move. But is this really necessary? Jimmy Butler has brought a new competitive spirit to the team, and the impact is already visible in the results. The team is playing with confidence again, winning 7 of their last 8 games, and seems to be finding its best form right at the right moment in the season. If this trend continues, the Warriors may not need any more big additions. Sometimes, a simple change in mentality within the roster is enough to transform a team into a true championship contender. Now, let's look at the NBA landscape as a whole. With the Warriors peaking at the right time, which teams could pose their biggest challenges in the playoffs? The Denver Nuggets, current NBA champions, remain one of the biggest threats. Nikola Jokic is playing at an absurd level, and the team's chemistry is one of their biggest assets. If the Warriors want to overcome the Nuggets, they'll need a solid plan to contain Jokic while also exploiting weaknesses in the opponent's defense. Another team to pay attention to is the Boston Celtics. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown's team is playing extremely efficient basketball and looks more balanced than ever. If Golden State wants to win another championship, they might end up facing the Celtics in the finals, and that would be a highly anticipated rematch after past encounters between these teams. And we can't forget teams like the Oklahoma City Thunder, who have been surprising the NBA with their young and extremely talented roster. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is playing at an MVP level, and the energy of this team could be a problem for any opponent. The race is wide open, and the Warriors know that every detail will make the difference. Kai returned to the court with an impressive performance, reaffirming his status as one of the most promising talents in Asian basketball. In a recent game against Kyoto, he delivered a spectacular performance, scoring 20 points, grabbing 4 rebounds, and dishing out 3 assists. These numbers not only stand out in the stats, but also showcase the constant evolution of a player who becomes more complete with each game. From the first minute, it was clear he was ready to shine. Combining height, agility, and technical skills, he dominated the paint, leaving opposing defenders without answers. His mid-range shots were sharp, a reflection of the continuous effort he dedicates to improving his game. Moreover, his court vision became evident in decisive moments, distributing assists and connecting his teammates in important plays. When the game reached its most tense moments, Kai took responsibility, showing leadership and composure. In the third quarter, he made a memorable play by dribbling past 2 defenders, converting a crucial basket, and hitting the free throw after being fouled. Plays like this not only excite the crowd, but also highlight his ability to perform under pressure, a key trait for any player with ambitions of reaching the NBA. His fans have plenty of reasons to be excited. Kai is about to hit historic milestones in the B-League. With just 76 points remaining to reach 1,000 career points, he is approaching a select group of players known for their offensive consistency. Additionally, he has already surpassed 500 rebounds, establishing himself as a dominant presence in the paint on both offense and defense. He not only protects the painted area with authority, but also creates crucial second-chance opportunities for his team. Another important achievement is nearing. He is just 4 assists away from reaching 100 assists in the league. This reinforces his ability to create opportunities and involve his teammates in strategic plays. These numbers directly reflect the impact Kai brings to the court. His combination of imposing physicality, technical ability, and tactical intelligence makes him one of the most complete players in the league. Every point, rebound, and assist brings him closer not only to records but also to the dream of playing in the NBA. His performance has caught the attention of analysts and commentators who already consider him a player capable of raising the competitive level of the B-League. Comparisons with great past big men are starting to emerge, highlighting his potential to leave a legacy in international basketball. But for Kai, more than statistics or records, the important thing is to keep evolving and making his mark in every game. Kai Sotto's future has been one of the most debated topics among fans and experts, and one of the most mentioned destinations for him in the NBA is the Golden State Warriors. The franchise's fans have already started a campaign on social media asking for his signing, believing he could be the missing piece to strengthen the team. The Warriors are known for their fast and dynamic style of play, with an emphasis on long-distance shooting and constant movement. However, one of the team's weak points has been the lack of a dominant presence in the paint, someone who can protect the defensive area, grab rebounds, and bring balance to the team. Kai fits exactly that profile. His impressive height and game-reading ability are characteristics that could transform the Warriors' performance. Moreover, his international experience, facing different styles of basketball around the world, makes him an interesting prospect for a franchise looking to refresh its roster without sacrificing competitiveness. For the Warriors, signing Kai would represent a low-risk, high-potential move. He has already demonstrated his ability to contribute both defensively and offensively, being an efficient finisher near the basket and constantly improving his mid-range shot. Combining this with his competitive mindset and dedication to improvement, he would fit well into the team's system. The fans are excited about this possibility, knowing that players with Kai's skill set and potential are rare. For many, he could be exactly what the team needs to get back to competing for the top spot in the NBA. If you like the content, leave a like to support the channel and subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss anything about the Warriors. Thanks and see you in the next video.